crap, it's dark here. Let me get the light on. Hey, Retro, what's... Oh. Oh! Holy crap. Thank you, Taker. Thank you for everything. Oh, hey everybody, it's Retro Kid of Retro Kid Reviews, and I just came back from my friends, and we saw Survivor Series 2015, and that was a great match with Taker and the Wyatt family. Long story short, I'll be right back with the top 5 Power Rangers teams in Disney era terms. So if my voice is scratchy, sorry about that, and be back in a minute. The brothers still have it. And what is your deal? Oh man, what do you got? What you got, Wyatt? What do they got? Yeah, sorry for being weird and stuff. I'll be right back. Honor and respect. Okay, so with all my wrestling business out of the way, 3, 2, 1, henshin, and welcome back to Retro Kid Reviews, and this is unfortunately a top 5. This was originally going to be a top 10, but due to the fact that this was Disney era, it ended up being a lot more than it is. Quick news to start off with. Turns out there's going to be another Ninja style crossover with Maji Ranger and the Six Ranger from Hurricaneger. So thought that was topical to like segue back into the top 5. So I will be reviewing those episodes. That's gonna happen pretty soon. So also I'm gonna have to I hate to say catch up back on story. Again, I was focusing on Ghosts, so that's gonna happen. So again, I think Deshinta's vlog was saying that they're losing focus again, like everyone's rebooting themselves. Just read everybody else is getting their focuses priority, I guess, straight. I don't know. Again, follow Deshinta's review vlog on that. He's currently doing I think his pseudo history of Power Ranger style with Camera 5s. God help him, to be honest with you, but everyone has seen 5s. I try to see 5s. I might review it someday, to be honest with you. That might happen. Probably some point in 2016. You never know what the year might take us. So anyway, since this is a top 5, I'm gonna do quick honorable mentions due to the curriculum on 2 grounds. 1, sadly, I haven't seen the entirety of these shows due to the grounds I was out of the fandom at this point. And 2, never got around to getting to sit through these in bulk since they are now on Netflix. I have seen bits of their episodes thanks to History of Power Rangers with Nick Nkara, card for his channel, and as of this recording, his movie is finally came out this week. I think they're going to be in parts online. I don't know if he's going to have a DVD if you're part of his Patreon, which I'm not, sadly. I wish I was. Long story short, watch it. The trailer looked like it's going to be awesome, so that's going to be sweet. Anyway, honorable mention number 1 will go to... Okay, it's out of order, but Power Rangers Jungle Fury. Out of them all, I would actually be interested in seeing this. It looks a little bit different. I know Geki Ranger had gloves for morphers instead of theirs was glasses, which was the big stigma. I'm gonna try to get past that, to be honest with you, like everybody else. Story-wise, it looks like a good Bruce Lee kind of kung fu kind of stories. So maybe I could get past the sunglasses morphers. Probably not, but you never know. Next honorable mention, Mystic Force. This was literally the team I left. I know 2006 was the exact year I left the franchise. So yeah, I tried. No joke, actually give this to my brother because he was a RuneScape guy at the time, so I thought that was a cool transition. I am aware of Maji Ranger. I have seen some of the footage thanks to Easy Rider's review, so yeah. I don't know, I might try. I don't know, I might watch Maji Ranger instead of this. You never know. Last up, and I think everyone knows where this is going. Actually, I don't know if you do know. It's Overdrive. I have seen the Once the Ranger 15th anniversary episode. it's insane. I have not seen the entire series. I am aware that the Red Ranger is a robot the whole time. I'm not. I don't know. It looks like it's gonna be a painful sit out of the entire Disney era. Yeah, that's just what the hell. But aside from that, from the 15th anniversary episode, it looked okay. Johnny Yong Bosch did a good job being Adam again. Honestly, with Disney era, you have to work with what you got, and it looked like he did what he could. To be honest, even shit, almost 10 years later, it still looks okay. It's just almost, to be honest with you. Anyway, so yeah, here we go. The top 5 Disney era teams. Really wish they did 10. As of that, I believe you should watch and respect, despite it, being Disney era. Number 5, the team that made me leave the franchise. Power Rangers SPD, or Deca Ranger known in the Sentai. Long story short, I am also very much aware of the 10 years after Deca Ranger movie. I have seen all of 10 minutes of it. I will try to review it. Compared to the Hurricaneger 10-year anniversary that came out last year, it felt more reunion than get straight into the action. Which means I have to bone up more on her Deca Ranger. But it did this. I mean, the whole SPD was a very good show for me. It gave me a lot of promise to where Power Rangers are going after I left the after I left the franchise. It was like I liked SWAT mode. Yeah, it was Cal Explosion era. I know the 6th Ranger, Orion over here got butchered, but Doggy Kruger over here was god in his scenes. I know everybody else was kind of got annoying a lot. I think I don't remember all the annoying characters. There were a few. Honestly, I would rather watch the Sentai than this nowadays, but I would for Netflix binging, I wouldn't mind going back to this. And I would recommend it just to see SWAT mode episodes, because they were very nice. They were very slim, and they were like my first premise of a shared battleizer, or I guess nowadays ultra mode kind of territory. And I always compared everything afterwards as a SWAT mode kind of design. To be honest with you, thank you, AIM, for believing the same thing. I want my money, my ass. Anywho, yeah, SPD's my number 5. It's a good team. I think they did a 10-year reunion at, I think, Ranger Stop. I forgot exactly where. I think some of the cast members are still keeping tabs with each other. Again, I'm not that hardcore with this part of the fandom. If there's a message board, please comment down below where exactly. Help me out. This is Disney era. I'm going to be a little more scathy about certain teams, especially later on down this list. On to my number 4. Power Rangers Dino Thunder, otherwise known as Abaranger in Sentai. And fun fact, they actually did a Sentai episode. Both this and my number 1 team will pretty much explain some behind-the-scenes elements as well. This one did more on, it explained briefly on Sentai, not exactly. Like, I think the Red Ranger was binge-watching, I guess, Abaranger, and it's like, oh, they're the same thing, we do the same thing, but it's different kind of territory. That was, like, the whole moral of the episode, basically. As for the team itself, it's like, it was 10 years since Mighty Morphin. Jason David Frank came back as a 6th Ranger again, as the Black Ranger of the group. He had a really good Brachiosaurus Zord, and it was very nice. And if you watched Linkar's History of Power Rangers, it's been unconfirmed, and I don't know exactly. It's been a long time since I've seen that in that particular episode of History of Power Rangers, that Disney might have told him not to use his Husei Uyas after certain episodes into Dino Thunder, mainly because they thought it was swearing. No joke. Also, turns out, CM Punk might have caved on the JDF5 as of this recording. Again, please, in the comments, clarify if that's real or not. because he might have got injured also in the Performance Center, UFC's Performance Center. I know, real life, getting back on the top 5. Honestly, Dino Thunder, soundtrack-wise, has a good soundtrack. A lot of it's Disney era team themes. They're not Ron Lasterman territory. They're nothing really to write home about. But Dino Thunders was okay. SPD's was fine. And my number 3's was okay as well. But number 3's was more explaining about the situation, explaining more about the team. And what was it? Ninja Storm! Ranger form. Yeah, it's Power Rangers Ninja Storm. Surprisingly, Ninja Storm had the most story. It had a lot of ins, a lot of outs, a lot of family drama, mainly on the Sixth Ranger and the Thunder team, the Thunder Rangers, because they were brothers, basically. I think this was the first attempt, and explains, well, actually, my number 3 is basically the first Disney-era team, Ninja Storm. Basically because, at this point, Sentai pretty much, Disney pretty much said, let's just copy all of the partial elements of the Sentai script. This is when they were starting to bring it in, like that. And, Saban was slowly doing the same thing as well. It made a lot of sense. As far as Hurricane comparisons, it had some of the similar beats, aside from ending, I would assume. Again, this is where Sentai purism has to come in, but I really just think of it more now as, like, compare and contrasting with an older team like this. Also, I know I got slammed on that. I'm going to change my battery real quick for the purposes of this top 5. I have to do that right now. So be back in 1 minute for the final 2. And back to action. So yeah, my overall thoughts with my number 3 is basically, if you really need a ninja team but don't want to sit through the insanity so far of Ninja and you got Netflix, go through Ninja Storm. Word of warning, it had like a horror movie kind of soundtrack for their fight scenes. Aside from that, they have good Zords. The soundtracks, when they got to like their BMX scenes, were not bad. Sorry for the camera angle shifting. I had to really fix the fonting. On to my number 2. It was a good team. Yeah. Ninja Storm out. RPM, now you're probably asking yourself, well, Retro, since you never grew up with a lot of these teams, why is RPM here? Funny you should mention that. I kinda, sorta, I think hopefully reviewed this, not really. I sat through the series on Netflix, right around this, I think this or last year. Never got around to review it for the channel. If I did, I'll probably put a card up here if I did. Long story short, I actually liked it. It was a good team. It felt like, it was nothing like the Sentai, surprisingly, because this was actually the last Disney-era team, because they virtually gave up trying to adapt everything from the Sentai. And this had, again, I have to recommend, the History of Power Rangers on this, because Linkara's explanation for RPM is that they had to go through a lot of showrunners, and that every single one of them couldn't understand the source material. I think it was Go Wander, and they all pretty much lost their minds, and the last one just pretty much wrote it like in space. It was funnier than intended, behind the scenes wise. And speaking of behind the scenes, they dedicated an entire behind the scenes episode on how they did it, how they do the pyro, how they do the acting, and it was kind of cool. It was nice it was interesting to watch. I just really kind of wish they just omitted the Sentai part, because everybody and their mother did at this point, and honestly, you think them of all people would be the one to just finally kick that long can, but whatever. The story is basically a Terminator Mad Max setting instead of Go Wander script, of pretty much everybody just in a dome city, akin to kind of like Lost Galaxy, and they try to pretty much save the world from Machine Empire kind of territory. Go watch the series. I'm not going to spoil much due to grounds one, I don't remember the full story. And very Black Ranger focused, surprisingly, than the core team. And, yeah, you're gonna get annoyed by the, twin Six Rangers, but after a while, you do tend to tune out, but it's not that big of a deal. Like, they're into blowing shit up. It's not that huge. If I was binge watching it, where it's like, oh, wow, they like blowing shit up. That's cool. It's pretty easy. It's point and click. It's not that big a deal. The Morphers were fine. Their Zords were okay. They had very good variant mechs. It's a good team. It just sucks that they came out that strong as like their last Disney era team. Now, for my number one is gonna come with a very huge technicality, because this isn't technically a Disney era team unless you were around in 2001 to 2002, like me. First of all, it's Power Rangers Wild Force. And this is when it was still on Fox Kids. And this was when it was still had the hands on Saban. Again, I have to thoroughly recommend Linkara's History of Power Rangers on this one. He thoroughly explains this better than me, but I can remember it fully. It was mid-season finale territory for the team. They were just about to find out what's going on with their villain of the season, and then it wasn't on Fox, and I was freaking out like a little retro that I am. And then I find out it's on ABC, and I'm like, what? No, I couldn't figure it out then, and then I figured it out, like, I guess months later, that it was just transitioned over to ABC. Never knew why then. Now I know why now. Basically, Saban pretty much couldn't handle being on, I guess, Fox anymore, and just hold it over all the rights to, basically, Disney at that point. But here's the catch. What came out of it was a very good crossover that was a very, very good 10th anniversary for the franchise. And anyone who's seen Wild Force knows exactly what I'm talking about. Forever Red. If there's a card or anything related to Forever Red along with these themes, I thoroughly recommend you watch Forever Red. It is the best team-up episode of the series, bar none. If you watch it, you will freaking love it. And by all accounts, Disney wasn't supposed to let them have it, and yet by a miracle they did. Again, watch the History of Power Rangers on this. It explains it 10 times better than I am. Also, yeah, that is, I don't know. There's a lot of ins, a lot of outs, but the Red Ranger of the group is now also a monster in the Neo Saban era. Yeah, that guy from Samurai. Hi, Deckard. Anyway, I honor and respect all of these teams. And yeah, this is a very weird list, but believe me, Power Rangers Wild Force does not make sense. It's a transition to an era that, quite frankly, doesn't really make sense. But to me, we all put up with it, and we're happy that it's back in Saban's hands. Though, we really don't know what he's gonna adapt next. So with this scathing weirdness and confusion for Haim Saban himself, this is Retro Kid of Retro Kid Reviews saying, well, I hope you enjoyed my top 5, and yeah, what the hell's the Ninja's deal? But to all these teams, to every one of the Disney era, you're not forgotten. You're not bad, you're not horrible, and yeah, a few of your actors probably stole something at a con once, but we all forgive you. I'm trying to forgive you. And if I can, I think we all can too. So, take care, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the top 5, and Ranger out. That was the best crossover ever.